remember to like and subscribe to Mallard Matinee to watch all your favorite movie reviews with me, Lewis Lightning, and my friend Country Boy. Today we're talking about V for Vendetta. Let's get that shine out of there. There we go. Hello, welcome back to Mallard Matinee. We are talking about V for Vendetta. There we go, V for Vendetta. Yeah. We're talking about the movie from 2005. It's for Revenge Month. We're talking about revenge movies. Revenge is getting back at someone. You did not know that.
You did not know the definition of revenge.
It's like vengeance, avenge, kind of stuff like that.
You know, getting justice for some wrongdoings.
So this is my pick for Revenge Month. I've never seen it. It is based on a comic book, from what I understand.
Yeah, DC comic.
Yeah, I've never read the book either.
Or graphic novel, whatever.
Yeah, I've never read it either way. I haven't read it, but I was always aware of it. But before we get too much into that, let's introduce each other. You can start first, and you can let us know how your history of this movie.
Okay, I am Country Boy, and I did initially see this movie, not in the theaters, but I believe pretty soon after it came out on either on video or it was on, I think it was on, I'm pretty sure I rented it. I think back when I was still renting movies, I think I rented this movie. And I didn't remember a whole lot of it actually. I remembered what I thought about it from back then, and I remember there were certain things that I do kind of remember, but a whole lot of it is almost fresh, me rewatching it this week. For this Revenge Month that we're doing, a lot of it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I didn't really remember that, but there was definitely some key points, and I was like, I did remember that, I remember that sort of thing, and yeah, that's basically my history. I saw it once back then, I saw it once this time. Oh, really? Okay, yeah. For me, I never watched it back then. I don't remember when it was in theaters, like what I was doing, or even remember hearing about it. So I don't really remember why I didn't go and see it in theaters. But I know after the fact, every time I saw this reference, I got that kind of feeling people were like, oh, this is so cool, remember the fifth, oh my god, people quoting it in a really cringe way, I guess. They're making it seem a lot cooler than it really is.
And it turned me off. Well, I do think this is cool, now that I've watched it, but it's just I feel like people, when they do that, they're liking it for the wrong reasons or surface level, right? They don't really get the whole art of it. For sure. So that always turned me off, oh, this is just going to be really a surface level movie, is what I kind of got out of that. So I kind of ignored it for so long, and I was like, oh. But then, when you brought up Revenge Month, I was like, you know what? It's been so long. It's been 11 years since it came out. Yeah. No, 21 years.
It's 21, yeah.
21 years. Yeah. No one's talking about it anymore. So I feel like now is the time that I can sit down and I don't have that that lingering feeling of oh, this is gonna be kind of cringe or whatever anymore. So we'll watch it for a revenge movie because it is. It's V for Vendetta, right in the title.
It's really there, yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I watched it last week. So before we get too much into the movie, we'll get into the cast of this film. V. He's, I guess...
The title character?
Title character? Yes, title character. I was going to say the main character, but that's kind of questionable. Yeah. But V, anyways, what do you think of him? It's
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that. So, you wouldn't know it unless you recognize his voice.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you don't see his face ever through the whole movie, which they do well, which is something that
no, I guess not.
You never see his face.
Well, I was thinking that part where he's on the bench, but I'm like, oh yeah, that was a mask.
Yeah. I thought Hugo Weaving was a great pick for this because he has a very excellent voice. He has a very good enunciation.
Yeah, and that's what he needed.
And that's what you needed. He has that excellent dialogue, the good enunciation that he's able to do, especially when he spells a bunch of V letter words, and he does there's a whole monologue with V's. Holy shit, how the hell do you remember that? That's a lot of very hard words to remember. But I thought he was. I don't know if it was actually him under the mask for the movie. It was definitely his voice. Yeah. But I thought his voice was fantastic. I doubt he did any of the action scenes.
When he is on the bench in the mask, that kind of looks like Hugo Weaving with some wigs and stuff.
Yeah, prosthetics that he wears.
Maybe that was him.
Mustaches. Maybe he might have been.
Otherwise, I don't know if it was him. He when he's wearing the mask and doing all the gymnastics and stuff.
And I thought he was an excellent voice. Anyways, I thought he did a good job of portraying this character. And even though you never see his face, he did an excellent job. Yeah.
He's got that learned way of talking and stuff. Like that's why he was Elrond, because he could speak so clearly, or even
Agent Smith.
I was gonna say Agent Smith. He's just because he's got that power in his knowledge in his voice that comes through.
Even when he was doing his English or his American accent, it bugs me a little bit in the Matrix, the American accent that he has. But he's also a program, so I accept it.
And then, like co-star, or at least one of the people who you could consider the main character.
She's the protagonist, I would say.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to talk about.
Natalie Portman is Evie.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of funny, like he's V and she's Evie, so she still has a
Evie,
the V sound in her name.
Yeah.
What did you think of her?
No, I'd say this is probably the best acting I've seen her in. Maybe Black Swan is probably maybe her top of her acting. But this is, I'd say, is right there with her acting ability, because especially coming off of the Star Wars movies, she didn't really get a chance to really like portray a really excellent character. Her character is great. I just didn't think she had a good job of acting as that character, as Amidala. Padme. I was like, I think the dialogue was kind of cheesy for those prequels, and it didn't really do her justice. I thought this movie did a lot more justice for her acting ability, and the fact that she actually shaves her head in this movie too. That's
a long
way too.
The prison parts she does where she gets like mentally scarred or whatever to call that, like her, like how she responds there, like that's fucking good. That looks great. Mm-hmm. And really, to me, if you had, like that's kind of like the main. I mean, I guess there's an investigator. I should forget it.
There is. I'll say one thing I found out just by going through some reviews. People that applied for this role was also Keira Knightley also applied for this role as well.
She looks like her.
Well, that's the thing. And Keira Knightley played her body double in The Phantom Menace. It's just kind of funny that they got an American actress to play an English actor.
I didn't think of that one. Keira Knightley
literally is an English actor who looks a lot like Natalie Portman. So it just says that her acting's better, I guess. Natalie Portman's.
Yeah, so those are probably the main guys. There is the detective. There's a detective that's kind of going around trying to, like, he's working for the government trying to figure out who is V and, like, trying to stop himself.
Yeah.
I guess it is Stephen Ray. I mean, this is an older picture, or a newer photo of him.
Yeah, Stephen Ray was Inspector Finch.
Eric Finch, yeah. And he's like a detective, like, so, and I don't want to get too much into the premise of it yet, but there is, like, V is like a freedom fighter, and then there's like an all-controlling government. This all takes place in Britain. So he's
a futuristic Britain, like, set under like democratic rule.
Yeah. So he's a detective, but he's not like while he does get invited to like all these big meetings and stuff, he isn't really like the inner circle really. Like he's there to kind of help and stuff, but he kind of still feels like for the common person, like he's being influenced by what's going on in a way. But yeah, I thought he was good too because he doesn't he's not super like, I don't know, handsome or muscular. Like, I think his partner looks more young and fresh compared to him. Yeah. But he looks like a guy who is putting the pieces together. He realizes that what the government wants him to do and like what is happening are two different. He can't blindly follow what they're saying. There's too much sticking out to him.
He knows, definitely that there's things wrong with the government, and I thought his character, he was good. He was a good character and everything, and he did a good job portraying it. I just thought like it was almost like the investigators were almost unnecessary characters. They're almost there for us to learn things. It almost felt like because they didn't really add much to the movie. Like they were always like a step behind me. They were always following, and then even at the very end, like he spills out what he's gonna do at the very end. He tells them, and they still don't really do anything.
Well, okay, so other like. Aside from him specifically, his partner or whatever doesn't matter at all.
I think I wrote his name down if you want. It was Rupert Graves' Dominic, the other officer.
But for Eric Finch, like I feel like he's supposed to be neutral. He's kind of like looking at everything. You're not taking any sides. He's not being political. And at the end, like you said, he kind of lets them do it because he realizes like even being neutral that this is wrong. That they deserve like. The freedom of the people deserve this freedom or whatever.
He tried to have an unbiased opinion and just do his job for the most part. But then, when it does come to light that what is going on is wrong, then obviously he allows V to do his thing.
And really, I would say that's all you need to know for the main cast. There are a few people. John Hurt.
That's what I was going to say. Well, John Hurt, because you mostly just see his head.
I was going to say, he's just on the screen, and he's basically doing like a monologue for most of the time. Like he does have meetings with people where he yells at them. But he's always just a face on a screen until the end.
Yeah, I think for that role, I guess it was decent. I wasn't too taxing of a role, I don't think. Anyways, like a lot of time it was just a big head, him kind of imposing his power and talking to his lackeys basically. It was, but one thing I noticed watching it, whenever they would like zoom in on his face, his eyes were always so dilated.
Oh.
The blacks of his eyes were always so huge. I was like, did they give him something to make his eyes do that, or he just naturally has these big, thick like pupils?
I didn't really notice it myself.
I couldn't help but look at it. They were always like staring me in the face. It was strange.
I like him, like John Hurt, but it bothered me that he like was always just kind of on by himself. Like he's not with the rest of the cast really. He's just filming all the stuff himself. There is a couple sections though, like Stephen Fry, who's in this film. He's got like a talk show, and he brings on the guy who's supposed to be like the prime minister or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm questioning, like, because that is John Hurt. Right?
It was literally him. Yeah. It wasn't like a mask that the guy was wearing. It was the actor.
So in the world, are they just saying that they got a look-alike that looks like him?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
That's what I didn't understand.
They got literally the guy that is like the head of everything on your show, but they're making fun of him, so it's not him. It's like when you do like a Trump impersonation, and the guy looks nothing like Trump, but he does an impersonation of him. This guy was literally him. And it was, unless they do like a deep fake, like AI switch or something like that.
But see, they should have done something like The Prestige, where Hugh Jackman plays a guy who just looks like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But they make it obvious to like the people in the story that say, hey, we're going to be using a body double who looks like you. That makes sense. And then he shows up again at the very end when he gets betrayed and he gets brought before V. We see him then too. But like, he doesn't get to really interact. That's what I don't like. I wish he got to be, in scenes with people to actually play off them, aside from being, on a screen talking to someone.
True. He was literally just like a big head on a screen, and that was the most interaction you got, was just him talking to some of the guys that are not in person. Yeah, just on a screen.
But yeah, those are all like like there are a lot more characters that V gets revenge on, because he's kind of going down the list of all these people that betrayed him or whatever. You'll see some people you kind of recognize, whatever, but they don't really have, like I said, mentioned Stephen Fry, who's not on the list. He's got a different role, but it's not that major.
Well, like you said, he hosts that TV show.
Yeah, he hosts a TV show. He's actually, Natalie Portman's character is Evie, Evie's boss, who she's going to be dating, although you find out later that was all, he was just making it seem like he wasn't gay, because you're not allowed to be gay in this future.
It's kind of like a 1984 type world. Like Big Brother is watching you. There's curfew at night and stuff.
Yeah. So since we got through the cast, we might as well just talk about the plot. Which, like you said, we're in a futuristic Britain. It's like kind of 1984, where this extremist government gets in control. And they're basically like, they control all the media. They tell everyone, and it's funny because they show people watching TV at home in their households, and they're like. People like shake their heads like, that's bullshit. That's not what really happened or whatever. Like the people are kind of aware, but they're so numb to it all.
Yeah, it's just become the norm. Oh, I mean, I'll say the movie does start out though like 400 years in the past. Though.
Yeah, so that's even not really necessary.
I guess it was kind of like inspiration for V, because it was with this anarchist.
Yeah, Victor Cromwell.
Cromwell. Okay, yeah, I remember what his name was. And so it's. I think what I wrote down here is flashback 400 years ago, and anarchist being hanged. And then the title shows the inside of a flaming V plus he slashes a V. Oh, okay. I noticed. Yeah, there was also like a flaming V at the very beginning of the intro title. I was like, oh, just like our last movie, horror. Okay, so there's a couple of things that kind of coincide with both these movies. But yeah, I just noticed that thing.
But yeah, it deals with Cromwell trying to blow up the Parliament, whatever. Which, aside from him wearing the Cromwell mask, what's the mask called? The Crawley mask. Yeah. Anyways. He makes reference to him, like, with what he was doing and all this stuff. And it's like, doesn't really, like, I don't know. Knowing the history of what happened back then, compared to what V's doing, doesn't really line up. But whatever. He was anarchist, like you said. He was kind of an anarchist at this time. But yeah, so then we get, like, this thing of V getting dressed up. And
and Evie, yeah.
And Evie.
Like,
kind of like mirroring them. Like, you see a scene of one person putting on his boots, and then she's putting on her shoes.
Yeah, like one of them in the mirror, the other one looking in the mirror. Sort of thing. Yeah.
But I gotta say, V, because you see V put his hair on like it's a wig. I don't like that wig. It looks so stupid. It looks like some silly like a prostitute would wear a wig, like if they were like in a go-go cage or something that.
Like it's a neon pink wig or something like that.
It's almost like a bowl cut, like in the front.
It is, yeah.
And then it's just like long, flat, and it's just.
Well, the first time I saw him watching this time, like, It kind of reminded me of John Carver. He was like the bad guy of the Thanksgiving movie that came out from Eli Roth. It was like a similar type of mask, and he kind of the hat. He looked like a pilgrim almost with that hat and the like fake hair. It reminded me of that for whatever reason. They're completely different movies, and it's like not related at all. But it just reminded me of that. I don't know. I just thought it was strange.
But yeah, so they're both getting ready to go out, and like Evie's going to like work, or she's going for a date. She's supposed to meet her boss, but there's a curfew.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to go out, but she's like going to meet her boss anyways, like for this date they're going on. She doesn't get very far when she gets like accosted in the alley by a bunch of guys with like thugs.
Yeah.
They're like dressed all shady. Like one guy's kind of like pale and like clammy skin and shit. And they start like talking like really lewdly and threateningly to her.
Oh yeah, they're doing sexual advances.
Yeah, and then she tries to defend herself. I think she like kicks one of them or something. And then they're like, she's like, I'm gonna call the cops, and she's like, they pull out their badge. We are the cops. Like, we're bringing you in now.
Yeah.
And she's like totally frightened because now there's like 4 of them.
Yeah.
She's got nothing she can do. Exactly. She can't go anywhere. And then V shows up and he just starts like beating them up. Like he's
superhuman strength.
He's superhuman, definitely superhuman strength. He punches the guy.
He flies against the wall.
Into the wall too. Yeah. Like it's not just.
Is that a result of whatever testing they were doing?
I'm guessing.
Or like I didn't expect him to be a superhuman strength. I thought he was just a guy in a mask. I thought it was supposed to be.
And at the beginning, well, actually through a lot of the movie, but I got more used to it, I guess. But his mask, it sounds like they actually filmed like inside of his mask.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear, and he, like you were saying before, but he's got like a lot of dialogue and he speaks quick, which makes it really hard when he's like talking in the mask and you like turning the volume up just for him because I'm like I can't hear everything he's saying. So that kind of bothered me a bit. I got more used to it, or at least things slowed down. So he's not always. He didn't keep doing that V thing. I kept.
No, that I thought was gonna pop up a bunch of times, but it was just the one time that he meets Evie.
So he meets Evie on the roof or in the alley, and he takes her up to the roof to show her what he's been working on. This big thing where he like blows up some site.
It was like a Capitol building of some sort.
Yeah, or cathedral or something. I don't know. There was like a clock, I think.
Yeah.
And he had like a message about how. In 1 year's time, he was gonna blow up the Parliament or whatever.
Yeah.
On the 5th of November. Yeah. So he kind of puts it out on the TV for everyone to see and all that stuff. And then the rest of the movie is basically the government trying to crack down on him and like silence him. Like they say originally, like him blowing up that building. Oh, that was a planned demolition or whatever that went wrong.
Yeah, they're always altering the story so that it looks better in the government's favor.
Then after that, the next day, V goes to the television station where Evie works on. He gets on there and tells him like, no, it wasn't demolition.
Yeah.
I'm doing this, and it just keeps escalating. But so that's how it starts off, and then after that, because he gives like a 1 year time span, but because Evie became implicated. Now the government agents like police and everything are trying to get her because they think she's involved, and they know her family history. Like they know everyone. Everyone's like got all their information in the hands of the government, and they're like, well, her parents were revolutionaries or whatever, and her brother went to prison here, and all the stuff. Like basically, all her family died because of the government stuff. So now they want her. So V's got to kind of protect her, like keep her with him. But she doesn't even know if she should trust V.
Exactly. So that's why he has to kind of keep her contained in there. She's like, I won't tell anybody. He's like, well, I can't believe that. She's like, I don't even know where I am, but you know I'm underground, as you can see. Yeah. So you know that's enough.
You describe what the stone was, they could figure out what building it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so she's stuck with him, but he's going out, and sometimes he needs her help to get into places, to infiltrate places, whatever. And he's like killing people, which obviously she's not for. Like as much as she hates the government, she's not a violent extremist in any way or protester. But anyway, I was going to say, like, because in the beginning, when they have that fight in the alley, that seemed like really like kind of almost like old school London-ish.
Yeah.
But then, like the next day when they go to the news station, to me that was really clashing. Because before they're like fighting with knives. They tried to use knives on V.
Yeah.
And it's like all cobblestone brick buildings and all this stuff. And then we flash forward and everyone's like wearing nice suits. Like even their clothing was different. And I was just like, oh, that seemed really weird how we just saw the alley and then we indoors, like, we came back to the 21st century.
Mm-hmm. You got Old England and New England.
And, like, initially I thought, when they started going through Evie's backstory about her family and stuff, I thought, okay, this is going to be her brother. Her brother survived whatever happened.
Yeah, they'll be related in some way.
Because like I don't know why you'd bring that up. I mean, to show the revolutionaries and stuff, sure. But I was like, lazy writing would be like, we say this early so that later on we could be like, oh, it was her brother the whole time. He didn't really die.
Yeah, that's a callback.
I was wrong. I'll say that. Oh. But I was like, I was surprised. Like, this is a 2005 film. And I was surprised when I was watching. I'm like, this feels like something that they could have made today, like speaking about the current political stuff.
Really, yeah. Honestly.
And I was like, wow. I did not pick it for that reason. I had no idea.
I guess maybe that idea is always ever present, depending, it doesn't matter where you are. So it feels like it's relatable no matter what time it's in.
Like in the last 10 years, fake news has become a new term. And that's a lot of what this movie is. So that's really
true.
nice.
Yeah, the way that the media twists things in order to fill their their story. Agenda is the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I know a woman from Lark Hill in the corner. Yeah, I so he goes around killing. I didn't have a whole lot of notes because it kind of flows pretty.
It does. I kind of wish they focused a little more on the people that he kills. I wish we had a little more. They gave us a little more backstory and reasoning for why he was killing each individual mark that he had. I wish we got a little more of that because I was interested each time he took out one of his marks.
Yeah. So like you see, like he'll go. There's like a guy who has a popular TV show. He's like a commentator, and V goes to his place. And he kills him. You don't know really why, but you do know that they recognize each other. Like V goes for a reason, obviously, and the guy knows who V is, even though V's wearing the mask and stuff. There's enough clues in what they are doing that he understands. Like, and he leaves like a rose, which means something. There's meaning to all these kills. Where he goes to like this priest, and he uses.
The priest is disgusting. Yeah.
The priest is like apparently getting like girls,
like young girls,
shipped to him. Yeah. Where he just sexually assaults them or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it's some fucked up shit because when she tells him, "No, I'm not here as a girl. I'm here to warn you," and he thinks it's like role play, like, "Ooh, let's get dangerous or whatever."
Turns him on even more when she was like saying no and stuff.
But it's basically like you were saying that we don't really find out a whole lot. Like you see them built up maybe like a minute, like 5 minutes before, and then V goes and executes his plan to kill them.
Like I wish we would have saw a little more of like when V was imprisoned, and then see like how shitty they were. While he was in there, but then I guess you got to show maybe V. I guess
I feel like this is all like because I know this is based on the comic that this is one chapter of the comic where he goes after this guy. Like you'd read that whole thing. Probably. And then it'd be the next person, and the next person, and there's probably a section where he was in prison or whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly, this movie, it did feel comic booky. It felt. Yeah. It did feel like there was definitely sections to it, like you said, like it could play out like this comic was this story, this comic was that story. Yeah. It feel like that, and also even like the action scenes felt very comic booky as well too. Yeah. And even the lighting, I don't know how to explain it, but the lighting and the cinematography felt comic booky, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it.
Well, I was gonna say, first of all, I gotta know Stephen Fry is the best shape I've ever seen him in. But I was gonna say, we were talking about the lighting and how like things were done. When he goes, there's like a coroner woman who's actually working for the police at the time, and I knew immediately when he's like, because the detective's kind of figuring out who's on this list that's being killed, and like, oh, there's a woman on here, and they're trying to figure out her name and stuff, and it's like, okay, well, in the previous scene, you were talking to the coroner for the police, and like, she was asking too many questions to just be a normal character, so I was like, she's that woman. She was who V's gonna target next. Mm-hmm. But I like how V shows up in a room, like you were saying, the lighting and the action stuff. Because like she's in bed and she's just like sitting there, I think, reading a book or something, and it's very dark in her room. There's a little bit of light by her window and by her bed. Yeah. And then she's just like, "You're here, aren't you?" Yeah. And you've been watching like this angle for a while. He's like just in the corner of the room and he just like steps forward.
Yeah, the lighting just shows his face.
Shows like the mask and everything. And it's like
it was well done. Yeah. It was a good cinematic moment. I'll say, like, you mentioned about the one dude that he killed that was like a broadcaster. He broke into his place using Evie's key card. I was thinking, like, would they really have her key card like still active after she was taken? Because they know that she was gone. They know that she was taken from the studio.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different ways I could look at it. Like, first of all, like, could they just deactivate it all from everywhere at once? or maybe do they have to go to each place and be like, okay, like that guy's apartment someone has to go there and actually turn that off.
Yeah.
And then the news station is another one. Maybe someone just didn't go and do that. But also, maybe they left it activated so that when she uses it, they can track it and be like, oh, she's here now, or whatever.
It might have just been an oversight, you know,
Yeah.
like, why would we deactivate it? But that's exactly why you deactivate it, because you know that she was taken, or at least you know she's missing, and if he was just here, so you can assume as much.
But actually, I have it in my notes. I just see now, this film brings up a lot of points out of the blue that bring stuff up only to immediately interject them into the story, and it makes me feel like the comic was the comic that was based on was substantially longer, and they were just jamming like all these different sections into the film to make it fit into like a 2-hour movie. Like they couldn't expand upon those enough. Like you know, the priest probably had a whole lot more. Like he just comes up and he's written off. Quickly.
Like I said, I wish they would have, you know, developed these characters a little bit more, so I could have got more backstory for them, and I would have had more of like a, yeah, good, they fucking got rid of that guy that we met 20 minutes ago as opposed to 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. But I was like, okay, this is like 1 hour into the film, and I already felt like we were climaxing, like, because Evie escapes at that point. She escapes from
V's place.
V's place, yeah, and she goes to Fry, Stephen Fry's character. I can't remember what his name is, but she goes to stay with him, where she finds out that he's a gay guy, and he's
Gordon Dietrich.
Oh yeah, and he's against the government and stuff too. He's in like a hidden room, and she's like going to stay with him because V's just violent. He's killing people and whatever. But then I don't know. She inspired Gordon to go on his show and mock the prime minister or whatever.
Yeah.
And he thinks like, oh, I'm untouchable because I'm gonna have a big show. I'm a celebrity.
Yeah.
And then that night, all the fucking police, like the government agents, come like raid his house. Like, and that kind of happened to Evie when she was young. Her house was raided and her parents were taken away.
Yeah, it was, and then there was like a flashback or something.
Well, it's like deja vu because it's happening all the time.
Especially when she's under the bed. Yeah, she's hiding under the bed when her parents were.
So then she tries to escape, but she gets caught by, it looks like a government agent.
Mm-hmm. I'll say that whole broadcast they did, it's hard to believe that your station would allow something like that, because you know that it's going to piss off the government.
And you also, because you wouldn't think it's just Gordon. It'd be the cameraman. It'd be the people holding the mics, the key grip. Everyone involved with that.
Like,
letting
whoever
it happen.
owns the studio, like they're not going to be happy with this broadcast. Obviously, how would they allow that to happen? I guess you got to have a little bit of suspension of disbelief for some of this, but yeah, it's hard to believe that they would do something like that, where they totally just shit on the whatever John Hurt's character is.
Yeah, but then you see like Evie's like in this prison now, and she's like being interrogated. She's being kind of tortured. Like she did like waterboarding and stuff, right? Or something. They did something to her.
Yeah, I don't know if they waterboarded her, but he definitely tortured her a lot.
They cut all her hair off and they throw her in a cell, and she's got like very little food. There's like rat infested cell. There's like a rat in there.
Yeah.
But she's like the acting. This is the point where Natalie Portman like goes right off the board with her acting, because it's just she's like shaking and like you can see it in her face, like she's like terrified.
She's being broken. Yeah.
Yeah. But all she finds in there is like in this rat hole. She finds like a little note.
Yeah.
And she reads it. It's written on toilet paper. It's from someone who was in the cell ahead
of her. It said toilet paper, but that was pretty rigid toilet paper.
Yeah.
Pretty stiff.
Like, I don't know, maybe they got it wet and then like they like put more layers on it. I don't know.
I'd say it was really rigid and easy to write on. It looked like. So just saying, not toilet paper I've ever used.
But then they awkward to make a deal about Valerie's kiss. Oh, okay.
So Valerie was the person that did the writing, story.
Did the story, wrote the story. Which, because earlier on, they were talking about like how they, the facility they had V in, because we were learning slowly that he was part of some kind of government experiment. They were trying to see what people could stand and if they could make them like super soldiers, basically, I guess.
Yeah.
But they were just taking random people off the streets, like the poor, like the drug users and stuff.
Yeah.
And you see some of these people that are they've been using drugs. They've been using for a while, and their faces are all like
crack addicts. You know what that looks like, basically. Yeah.
But this Valerie person is she starts telling her story on this note that we're reading, and how she was a lesbian, and they don't allow that in this society.
Yeah.
But she went against it anyways, and she met someone that she was good, had a good life as an artist. I think she was an artist.
Yeah, something like that. Her and her girlfriend, they had a life of their own, basically. Yeah. Her parents, obviously they weren't a fan of it, and they left. She left her parents, and they had a good life together.
Yeah. And then, the government cracks down. Yeah. They got her partner, when the partner was at work, and then they came to her apartment, they took her, and, she's writing, I've been stuck in the cell, and I just want to tell you that, it is worth it, to go on living and whatever, all this stuff. Because you think, with the way Natalie Portman's acting, she might just shut down and die.
Exactly. Kill herself if she can.
And that's, Natalie Portman does kind of take that, and she becomes more defiant. She's like, I'm not going to give in to the torture and stuff, I am going to whatever. And they show what happened to Valerie, that those people we thought were the crack addicts or whatever, one of them is Valerie. She just got so beaten up over time that she looks like that. But then we find out that, this interrogator is actually V. The whole time it was V, which that was a step too far.
Dude, come on. It's I needed to see. This was necessary to see if you would turn or whatever.
But he always wears a mask and stuff, and yet for us, they show the lights always kind of coming in her eyes, so we can't see.
It's always just a silhouette. You don't see their face ever.
But she wasn't always in that room. She got led through the hallway and whatever, and it's she would have seen him or whatever.
He might have put on makeup. Later on, we do see him with makeup on. We said, he's talking with the investigators, so he could have done makeup for her purpose, anyways. If we would have seen Hugo Weaving with makeup, we probably would have been hey, that's fucking him.
But this is something that happens for at least a week or two, a couple of weeks.
It's not clear how long it is. It's just tortured. I would say close to a month is my guess. I don't know.
Because then someone comes to save her, opens the cell and lets her walk out. Which she walks out and she realizes the guard she's been seeing at the end of the hallway is just a mannequin.
Yeah.
And she walks out of the room, which leads her right back to V's house.
Yeah.
It's it was me the whole time.
Yeah.
It was me, Austin. It was me the whole time.
Did you like it? It was good. No.
Yeah. But and she kind of freaks out at first, but he's like, I had to do it. I had to see that you were really dedicated to college.
Did you,
that
though?
You wouldn't sell me out. Which, I don't know.
And then she sticks with him for a while longer.
I think she starts to understand, because she thinks that note was part of it too, and he's like, well, it was part of it, but I didn't write it. That's just what I found. I'm like, how did you know she was going to look at that mouse hole? But I wouldn't put my hand in there.
But the thing is, did he write that letter, or was it a real letter from someone that actually exists? I don't think that was ever clear. He said that it was what you needed or something like that.
No, he said that someone else wrote it. He said that...
I don't know if he was being serious, though, because she even says, I don't know if I can trust you.
Well, I think at that point he's telling the truth again.
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't sure if it was a true story or if he made it just to help her.
At the end, we see Valerie and her girlfriend there, so that was real.
We can just assume that that's who he was basing it off of. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot at the end kind of was confusing to me with seeing some of those people, but anyway, Valerie's one of those people that we saw early on. Yeah, I recognize his voice. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I was doing that all from memory.
One thing we didn't mention is when he was cooking eggs with her way earlier on, you kind of saw the burn scars on his hand.
Yes,
which is something that we didn't really know that he was burned. We didn't know that he had a scarred body until this moment. We didn't know there was something wrong with him.
They show a flashback of the prison that he was in, and there's a big explosion or whatever, and I guess he escaped. But you just see all this fire and stuff, and there's a guy who's completely naked, but assuming all the fire's just all around him.
A silhouette of this guy coming out of the fire,
and he's yelling, just oh.
Which I found out this is kind of a fun fact, more for me probably than anything, but the silhouette of V coming out of the burning rubble. I thought that might have been partially computer generated, but apparently that was literally the stunt man covered in gel walking through a fire. Chad Stahelski was the stunt actor, and he's done a lot of stunts for a lot of movies. He's done for Matrix movies. This is Wachowski's helped with this movie as well too. Yeah. They wrote it, so that makes sense. And he's also directed some of my favorite movies, the John Wick movies. Oh. So I just thought it was really cool that Chad Stahelski.
I thought it was CG.
I honestly thought it was too. They might have superimposed some CG, but that was literally his body covered in gel, so he didn't get burned. I would have thought that it wasn't practical, but from what I read, it was.
But yeah, after this point, so Evie trusts him, I guess, and he's like, well, you're free to go. You can, leave here, and she does. She hangs out with him, but they trust each other now. He trusts that she won't turn on him, and she leaves, and she starts just living I think she lives with a friend again. I can't remember where she goes, but she's like just living in a town, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I was like, you think everyone would know who she is, considering like she's linked to like all these killings and stuff. Like the government has cameras everywhere.
My question is, why'd she keep her hair short?
It's
been like months that she's been out from V's.
Was she out that long? I thought that she was in V long.
Or even after the fact, if she was in with V, it was still like months after the fact that he tortured her. She still kept her short hair though. I don't understand why she wouldn't let her hair. She just kept shaving it every week.
I don't know. Maybe he was shaving every week, forcing it. I don't know.
I don't know. It just seemed odd that like she wouldn't let it grow back out.
All the stuff we've seen, like V killing all the people on his list, him catching her and keeping her in this prison. That apparently has been has been happening over the course of a year. Because like she gets out, but it's not too long after that he's going to go and blow up the parliament.
But it seems like when they see each other, it's been a while since they've seen each other.
Yeah, but
it seems like it's been a couple of weeks or something.
Her hair is still short then too.
I know. I'm saying ever since he tortured her. She keeps it short, and I swear it's been a few months since his torturing to the end of the movie.
I know.
Her hair is still short.
I just assumed that he was keeping her hair short, and then when she left, it's only been like a couple of weeks or something. That then she comes back.
Even if it was a couple of weeks, it's still be longer than it was. I'm just saying. I know I'm getting hung up on a little detail, but
and V is ready to die for this. Like he's listening to music and stuff, and he's like, there's like 168 songs or something on this jukebox he has. I've listened to them all, but I've never danced to one of them. And they have a dance. That's like the big heart-wrenching moment that he's like, he's doing all this for the cause and stuff, but he has never had like this human side of it. Like all these humans he's helping, he's never really done it because they say that whatever he went through kind of fucked up his mind. So, yeah. And then, so he's got this big plan where he's going to send a bomb on a train to the parliament, but he also wants to kill John Hurt's character, like the prime minister. So he like infiltrates the inner circle, like his right hand man, John Hurt's right hand man. He like basically bribes him, like, hey, you can be the new leader if you give me the prime minister. So he has a meeting with the prime minister and this right hand man where V kills the prime minister, and like immediately everyone else is like, well, now we're trying to kill you, V. And they all start shooting at him. He's like,
yeah, he takes like hundreds of bullets basically.
Yeah, but all he has is like one chest plate from a suit of armor, and his
mask is like ricocheting. Like that's a pretty fucking bulletproof mask.
We knew his mask was metal because someone punched him before, and then he's like, ow, because.
He takes a lot of shots.
Takes a lot, but he doesn't survive either.
True, and then a lot of them do pierce, and he does end up dying.
Mortally wounded. He's mortally wounded.
It's just excessive to how much you would definitely not be able to survive.
And so that they unload all their clips, and then after that, he just runs up and slaughters them all with his blades, just kills them all.
I also was wondering, like, how did he get the resources to get all of those masks that he sent up to the rest of the city? Like, there's like hundreds of thousands of people that got these masks.
Well, they're saying that he stole a lot of the stuff that he has. He stole from like the government trains and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, he does have like obviously he's got really valuable things in his place you can see. But like, how do you secretly get all these masks made and then distribute it out?
Yeah, that's kind of the hard part. Like, I could see why we had the money, but how could you do that without them being like, well, we know the distributor, and we could just shut it down at the source.
Yeah. It's like, that mask is familiar on TV. We're making 100,000 of those in the back. Why didn't we fucking say who fucking is making these?
Yeah, he's in all these masks, and people are buying them. It's not just him buying, like him sending them out, because some of them are like, there's a little girl we see that she bought one. Like, it gets delivered to her parents' place. She's like, I'll get it. She takes this thing and goes up to her room, and it's the mask. Yeah. She's like maybe 12.
Yeah, puts on a cape and stuff.
And then later on, she's spray painting, and she has the mask on. Yeah. And fucking these cops shoot her.
Well, I was a little confused because there was a girl with glasses that they showed at one point. Was it the same girl that got shot?
Was that the one in the crowd at the end?
Yes. And then at the very end,
she's there.
We see her alive. What the hell?
That was the same thing with Valerie. Like, Valerie was there, so I'm like, well, Valerie's a real person. So I was like, did they survive then? Like,
it looked like they shot that girl dead.
That's what I thought. Like, maybe she survived. And I'm like, okay, but how do we know who survived?
Unless there was a girl that looked very similar to her that I didn't realize was a different girl.
Well, because what I'm thinking, like, we see her, we see Valerie, I'm like, oh, so all these people survived. But I'm like, I would have thought, given that, like, Stephen Fry's character, I was like, okay, when are we going to see Stephen Fry standing there too? And I was like, no, he never gets shown. So, like, so some people are dead, given that, like, because Valerie, we don't hear her story about her getting released from prison. So how she got out, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it is a lie. Like you said, he's based it on someone. That seems kind of far-fetched. It's weird writing for that. But, yeah, like, the little girl, I was like, why? Is she survived?
Yeah.
Like,
they murdered her in the street. And then she's back later. And I was like, that's a different girl?
It's plausible that she survived, because she just falls to the ground, the mask comes off, and you see, like, some blood trickling down her face, I think. But it's like, maybe she's got...
They deeply imply that she's dead.
Maybe she got winged and she just got knocked out, like concussion, and she looks like she's dead. But
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just trying to best explain it.
Yeah.
Because how else can you explain her just being there?
My explaining is it was two different girls. It just looks similar.
Or just trying to show that, like, metaphorically, these are the faces of the revolution. That even though they're passed on, they were part of this crowd. Because, after that, all these people just descend on the parliament, and they're all dressed in V's mask and cloak and everything, and they're just marching, and all the guards are like, well, they could start shooting, but like, it's not worth it. Like, we're killing our own people and stuff, and then they get there, and V, who's already dead, he's on a train full of, like, dynamite and explosives, and Evie's left there to make the choice about moving, like, letting the train go or not to blow up it. And she decides to do it, and right before she does, then the detective shows up. It's like, stop. It's like, I caught you or whatever. And she's like, well, he's dead and I'm going to do it anyways. Are you going to shoot me? Which he ultimately doesn't.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the cops really didn't do anything in this movie. They were there, but it's almost like they were only there for the audience so that they could impart some wisdom to us. That's all it seems like, because they really didn't help in any way.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think they're just to the audience. They're supposed to be like this neutral party, right? That's the best I can explain it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they blow up and everyone's cheering, and that's kind of like the end of the movie, right?
Yeah, basically. I even know that Parliament blows up. Wait, so Glasses Girl wasn't the spray paint girl that got shot? I was like questioning, because you see her after the Parliament blows up, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's a question: do you think all those people that marched on the Parliament, were those all extras? Did they really hire that many people to dress up?
I would guess no. I would guess that'd probably be mostly digital, is my guess.
How?
To do it practically, I'm not too sure if they could.
Yeah, well, I noticed there was a lot of different body sizes. Usually when something is like CG, they usually get like a couple, and then they just
it's a lot more uniform.
It's a uniform. But this seemed like there was different body, like heights, sizes, shapes, everything.
Maybe you get like a first front line of 1,000 people, then everybody back there is kind of superimposed. But one thing that I thought was a little bit strange was, I think it was after they danced, Evie and V. That's when she kisses him in the mask. I thought that was a little forced for me. I felt like they didn't have that kind of relation. I didn't think it was a romantic relationship. I thought it was more of like a partner understanding kind of relationship. I didn't think it was a romantic thing.
Well, I didn't really see it as romantic. I saw it more like he was an inspiring figure, and she just wanted to impart on him that, like, just the honor of, like, being, like, kissing with him. Like, I don't know, if you saw someone so great, you'd be like, wow, like, just to do it. Like, you are a great man. Like, you have so much reverence for them that she wanted to do that, knowing his sacrifice that he was going to do.
She's leading him on is all she's doing.
Because there's nothing else that's kind of romantic about the relationship in any way.
That's why I thought it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I get the dance. The dance was, okay, that was a nice moment. Because like you said, it's kind of bringing his humanity back. And it gives him that little one moment that he hasn't had in probably forever. But the kiss was a little too far for me, I thought.
But then, like, he's doing this great service that I feel like she just did that because he never experienced it, or at least, like I said, his mind's fucked. He doesn't remember doing any of that. Yeah. But so that was the movie. We'll get into the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. So what did you have for your good?
So my good was, I loved Hugo Weaving's voice. I thought he was excellent at casting for V. I thought he did just have that, it has a bit of a gravitas, and just the way he's able to deliver the lines, and his dialogue was just beautiful. And Hugo Weaving has a good way of pronouncing, a good enunciation. Yeah. Something that I struggle with.
Yeah. I would say Natalie Portman acting and Hugo Weaving is what I had on mine. Like, we know Natalie Portman did her stuff. Like we can see that's her.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving, if it wasn't him physically, at least his voice acting was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like you said. But yeah, like especially those parts in the prison with Portman. That was what really got me. I was like, whoa, that looks like legit.
Yeah, she looked like she was being tortured, and she looked like she was really going through it for sure.
Yeah, like I've seen some stuff where like they show like in Bosnia and Herzegovina when they went through some of their war stuff, and they show like survivors like breaking down, and like that's exactly what I see with her. Which it's hard. I would assume it's really hard to break yourself down in a fake way, just for the purpose of film to do that. That's hard. So for the bad, I'll lead off on this one.
Yeah.
I felt like some of the story elements were just missing or rushed. Like I said, that this feels like comic book stuff that they were like jamming in there, trying to get maybe like 30 different arcs of a story to fit into a 2-hour film.
So this almost could have been 2 movies. You could have had the story arc of him getting revenge on all of the people that did him wrong while he was in prison. Yeah. And then you could have a second movie where he gets his justice on Parliament and all the heads. Having both kind of clashing together, it kind of rushes through a lot of that middle section of the movie.
So like I said, it feels both like there's too much in there, but also it's missing stuff because they had to cut stuff too. Like they couldn't build on like his backstory. Like how did he get up? How did he get there? What happened to him really? Like where do we know it? Should we know his origin? That's the good question too. Yeah. Yeah, there is just so much.
I think the mystique is a good thing though. I guess we don't really need that the origins of him. It's nice to have it. Like you're watching a movie like Dread. It's kind of cool that you never see him with his mask off, sort of thing. It's kind of a mystique to it.
But like is he actually superhuman? He punched that guy, which makes me believe he is.
I know. I'm just wondering if it was just the fact that it was a comic book movie and they feel like that's the standard thing they got to do is make it seem like he has a little bit extra strength than a normal person.
He seems faster, like when he goes.
He does. So they definitely accentuate that, like with the moves, with his size, or whatever he uses those blades. Has like the weird prongs on the side.
It just seemed like it was longer, or blades.
Yeah, I think it's all it was. It just had like little tongs on the side. But yeah, they move around. You see like the trails of the movements and stuff. But definitely kind of a Wachowski type of.
But they should have either confirm that, put a little bit in there to confirm that his reflexes are so much faster or something like that. But that never comes in. Anyways, you're bad. Sorry.
Yeah, my bad. It's very similar to yours. I think I wrote that it sags in the middle. It doesn't really sag. Like it's kind of it's a little too fast the way it goes through the story, through some of the story bits, especially the revenge section of things. I do wish we got a little more meat with those characters that he does get revenge on. I do wish we got a little more of that. That was probably my worst. I also had written down like the cops were kind of useless, but that's a minor gripe.
You want to lead on the ugly then?
And then the ugly, it was Evie kissing V. I thought it came out of nowhere. It seemed unnecessary. I would have been fine without that. It didn't do anything for me. The dance was nice enough as it was, and that was good. I just didn't need that kiss on the mask. Lift his mask a little bit and do it on the lips. It shows that she doesn't really want to see his face.
No, like I said, I think it's for a non-romantic reason. I mean, you go like to France, whatever, they give you a kiss on the cheek for nothing.
It's for nothing, yeah, you're right. So it's supposed to be nothing then? Is that what you're saying?
It shows appreciation.
I know we never really talked about this, but I thought Natalie Portman's accent was actually really well done. Her English accent, I thought it felt good. It felt natural.
I didn't really notice it.
I honestly, I almost forgot that she wasn't English when I was watching this movie. Oh shit, yeah, she's actually an American actress.
I didn't notice it at all. I would have assumed that she was still talking the same, like. I didn't notice.
There you go. That's how good it was. You didn't even notice it.
For me, the ugly was like the TV and the Office stuff. To me, that just seems so out of place from everything else. Like I feel like their wardrobe and the settings. Like we saw the church, and the church feels different. Like that just seems so out of place compared to the rest. I don't know. Like that felt so like 21st century, where everything else is kind of like this, more like an anarcho. Like futuristic society where there's still like cobblestone and stuff. Like he's living in a stone castle or something. He's under, like all that's so weird, and then is strange. Like I said, the priest like lives in a chapel and stuff. Like why wouldn't he just have a house?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like even Gordon, whatever his place is, like an old style house.
Yeah, it is. And he shows you like his secret room with all this stuff that he's been collecting.
It's just to me that was, it bothered me. I don't know why it bothered me so much, but
yeah, I don't know. I didn't really notice it.
So yeah, when we before we get into our personal thoughts on the movie in terms of scores and review, we look at other people's reviews. We are looking at the critics' reviews, either like professional critics or just critics who are just guys on the couch like us,
So.
giving their own 2 cents. Do you want to lead with yours? Like,
sure.
You can just tell them how.
Yeah, I usually go to Letterboxd. I'll look at regular guys' reviews. People like us, like you said, can just put in a review, say what they thought about it. I'll try and do a low rating, a middle kind of rating, and a high rating is what I try to do. So for the lower rating, Natalie Portman's British accent is so bad it stops me from taking this movie seriously. This movie has not aged well, as the dialogue is extremely long, pretentious, and tedious. Plot, boring, and predictable. The best part of the movie is when it ends. Half a star. Which I disagree with.
They didn't like the accent at all.
I pretty much disagree with everything they said, actually. I thought they were... I felt like it could have been pretentious, but if it wasn't... It didn't quite reach the level of, like, pretension. I thought it was still, like, a level that I could watch it at. I wasn't, like, bored or, like, pissed off to, like, trying to sound like, overwhelming or anything like that. I thought it was just the right amount of pretension, I guess.
I can see how some people would think it. I didn't. Yeah. But I could see other people having, like, it is pretentious.
And you know what? The first time I watched this, I think I kind of thought that way a little bit too. And then watching it, I was like, no, it is. It's something that anybody could watch, I'd say. It's not too pretentious. My second review is a 3-star review. This MF motherfucker said ideas are bulletproof, LOL. Extremely corny, simplistic adaptation, but I read the graphic novel as an impressionable age, and I still have affection for some of the ideas regarding Thatcherism and power, and the Wachowskis' attempt to contextualize the Iraq War into Moore's goofy apocalyptic vision of them. Also, Hugo, God of enunciating. Even this person's review is more pretentious than the actual.
I don't know what that has to do with the Iraq War at all.
I don't know either. I just like that they put Hugo Weaving, God of enunciating. Then I had one where they talked about Keira Knightley, but I already mentioned that how she was in talks of being in the role. And then this last one is a 5-star review. What a vividly brilliant movie. Sorry, this person capitalized every V, or they tried to capitalize it. I think they missed a couple in here. What a vividly brilliant movie. One that very neatly vaulted into the top favorite list. Unfortunately, it only validated a top 4, not a top 5. Nevertheless, it's very much one of my all-time favorite movies, and I'm vehemently convinced it very much deserves that spot. They give it a 5.
They're very bad at that. Like,
they missed a bunch of V's. Actually.
Well, like what a vividly brilliant video.
I know they could have
video.
They could have easily put some substituted words in here. They're doing
they're lower level. They're a lower level.
They're doing a half-assed attempt at the V thing. Yeah, that was my reviews.
So yeah, and I do the critic reviews from like Rotten Tomatoes, or it's usually Metacritic. So these are like the professional ones, and I usually try and go something high, something mid-range, and something low in terms of scores. Actually, this time I kind of went a little differently, because I usually say that I don't have to 100% agree with what they say, but I have to be like able to understand it. But there was some stuff here that I was like, these people are clearly have something against what the movie's trying to say. Oh. I thought, I'm like, I gotta include. I think I have my one is like that, that. So we'll start with the Portland Oregonian. You try to say that, Portland Oregonian. It's weird. Anyways, V for Vendetta puts its ideological intent first and happens to provide smashing entertainment only as a vehicle for delivering its message. A score of 91 out of 100. So yeah, it's quite clear in its ideological intent. Like you said before, it's like 1984, where you see like the government like controlling the media and what people can say and do and think. Yeah. Yeah, so it's very much that. And I do think it was smashing entertainment, as they said. Then we have Empire, setting out more to challenge us with its ideas than make us whoop at the action. Vendetta can be clumsy, but there are enough impressive flourishes to make up for its stumblings. A score of 80 out of 100. So yeah, I mean, we just talked like about some of the stuff where we thought it stumbles a little bit clumsy in how its execution, but it's this impressive in so many other different ways. Yeah. Whether it's like the acting or like how things like I thought it was cool how it tied together Valerie we saw earlier in the movie into the end. Like that's they threw me off in the story too when I thought that was gonna be her brother, and it's like no, he's just some guy.
We're not going the obvious route.
Yeah,
they're not related at all.
So then finally the Chicago Tribune. Finally, a film to unite movie mad members of Al Qaeda with your neighbor's kid, the one that with the crush on Natalie Portman. A score of 50 out of 100. So this is someone who obviously just thinks that this is just for like some stupid kids who are like want to be terrorists. Basically, like this is for people who like movies and like being a terrorist. Like
anti-propaganda.
All you need is like someone who's sexy. Like well, I don't know. In this movie, I wouldn't really say she's sexy. I mean, she does dress up as a little schoolgirl or whatever.
She's still good looking even with her head shaved.
But yeah, like this, like it feels like they just got mad at the point of the film. About the government, like they're probably taking what the film's saying and applying it to, this movie is just talking about our government which is in place now, and they're being political about it all. And it's like, no, I think this film works for this situation across different times, right?
Sorry, mosquito.
I saw him earlier.
Mosquito got revenge on him.
So yeah. Those were the critic reviews that we got. Now we will go into our own reviews. Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I think the first time I watched this movie, I thought it was okay. I wasn't like a huge fan of it. I basically bought the Blu-ray because it was like I think it was like a $5 bargain bin sort of purchase, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll rewatch this. I'll buy this movie, and then rewatching it this time.
You're so glad you did.
I am. I actually enjoy it more than I did back in 2005 when I would have seen this. It was a better movie than I remembered it being. Like I said, I thought it was a little bit pretentious then. Watching it now, no, it doesn't quite reach the levels of pretension that I thought it was. It's a good movie, but there are some faults that I would take away from it. So overall, I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10.
Wow, this is very different than I thought. We're kind of doing like a reverse from our previous one, I think.
Our Zorro, yeah.
Yeah. So I like watching it for the first time. I really liked it. Like I was surprised. Like I'm glad it's not as like cringe as I thought. Like I thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna hate this. It's gonna be like so. But just for references, this movie's just gonna be references and stuff. Like, but I can mimic this. I didn't really find that. Like I agree, it's very much a 1984, like a George Orwell type story.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh, I like this actually quite a bit. I mean, yeah, it gets cheesy. Some of the action, like the blood never really looks good, especially that ends fight scene where he's like cutting everyone up. Like it's not perfect. It's still the 2005 era, but I'm like, this is so good that I want to own it. So I'm gonna go at some point. I don't have it yet, but I'm gonna buy this on Blu-ray myself because I'm probably gonna watch it again at some point. I really enjoyed it. Hugo Weaving was great. Natalie Portman was great, and the supporting cast, like I said, they're not really that necessary to it, but I do enjoy them too.
Yeah.
So I gave it a score of 9 out of 10.
Literally our reverse from Zorro.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is going to be it for Revenge Month, I guess.
Yeah.
Which means I get to pick the theme for next month.
What is it going to be?
Well, I picked this because I just saw on
You like to torture me, probably, so...
What's that? We don't have that on cue for anything.
No, well, last month you fucking made me rewatch a movie I hated, so we'll see what you do this time.
It's not going to be torture, but you're going to be singing like a bird because it's Music Month.
Music Month, okay.
Yeah. There's something I saw on Crave and I'm like, oh, I want to catch this before it's gone.
I couldn't think if we had that as a theme because I was actually going to add like musicals as one of my themes if we didn't have that.
And I'm going to say specifically for
so not musicals.
For Music Month, it's not musicals and not music biopics. Although if it's a mockumentary, like as long as it's not a real, like you could do like something that's I don't know, something like what was that film? The Beatles one. What can I think of it now?
Yesterday,
yes.
Yeah, I love that movie.
So it's like it can talk about real world artists, but frame it in the context of the music itself. Don't be like Bohemian Rhapsody. No, that is just the story of.
Yeah, that's a biopic about them.
If it was a fake person, like someone who is just like.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it because you got to pick your own thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I think Almost Famous would be something like that.
I'm not sure what Almost Famous is. I know what it is, but.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay.
Music Month. We're gonna get some musical shenanigans. Yeah. should be great. But if you want to find me, I'm The Lewis Lightning on Twitch. That's all one word. You can also find me on YouTube as The Lewis Lightning. I'm on YouTube also with him on a channel called Wasted Opinions. It's two of us and a third guy named Muskeg. We talk music, movies, TV shows, video games, a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we just have random discussions.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make a game of it. Sometimes it's just reviews. It could be anything.
Yeah, we could do drinking games. We could just do, just discussions or reviews of certain things. Yeah. And you can find me all over the place as countryboy_9. Also, countryboy9er, like I am right here on YouTube, where I unbox a whole bunch of stuff. Or I'm also on Instagram. I'm on the TikTok, and I'm on the Twitter and all that stuff. So find me somewhere. I'm sure you'll find something that you like.
Yeah, and we will see you on November 5th. See ya.
Remember. The 5th of something. I can't remember what it was.
I didn't know how I was saying that, but I was like, well, the most notable thing is that remember.
We should have done this for November.